Welcome to the third episode of Muddling Through Dwarf Fortress. If you didn't see the first two videos, this is a series, and we are struggling through the Dwarf Fortress release, although we are not struggling quite as much as we were before. My primary goal in this series is to just keep learning this game, so I'm going to explain a little bit, and I'm going to edit out the parts where I'm really struggling, but I knew I wasn't going to do it perfectly, so I just did it this way. Anyway, I did spend a lot of time between the last video and this one just trying to figure stuff out on Twitch, like without streaming it, or without recording it or anything, and just kind of talking it out with chat. And I learned to do water pumping, which is amazing. Some of this stuff I didn't want to save for one VOD, so I just kind of set it up, and I'm going to explain it right now. We've done quite a lot. The main one that's fun is the water pumping. We've got levers set up here from the river, which we have a corner flow. This is actually a river, as you can see, by the flowing of the numbers, which is amazing and moving and exciting to watch. And then some of it comes through here because we had a corner flow. You can also have an orthogonal flow, so this left to right versus this diagonal, which is amazing. However, we've got all the water full at 7, and it's not moving. But here in a flood chamber that we've created so that we can then walk down this amazing staircase, bring the water through, and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, I want to just show you something cool and machinistic. So I'm going to fling this lever, and a dwarf is going to come over. Give me a moment. So let's just kind of... Oh, and we've been singing along with the dwarves. So I'm just going to warn you, there will be a lot of dwarven singing from me in this video. Anyway, this dwarf, who is this? Mr. Zunter Agathodum. Okay, is going to go over to the lever, and this isn't really going to affect anything up here because we have the flooding, what do you call these things? The screw pumps up here. And these basically get water from the lower level up here, but we need a dwarf operating it. We've already kind of done this for ourselves. But he's going to open up this floodgate, and this is amazing. And look, he's just flicking the switch up there, so boop, he just booped it. And now... the floodgate opened, and now water is rushing through and into the chamber. I'm just going to close this. Or I'm going to pull it again because it is quite amazing, but I could fill up that room, however, I don't really want to. I may decide to at a later date. But we pretty much had to engineer this entire thing before we flooded the hallway before. And someone should come back and do this. Another amazing thing is that some of these rocks and the sediment that picks up down here does flow along with the water, which is quite amazing, and I just keep discovering like new things that I love about this game as I go on with it, and it's really cool. And I don't know, just like I've discovered so much more stuff that I didn't even know was in the game. We had a grate here. We had a dwarf almost fall in and drown the last time, except they were totally fine. So, did I? Okay, there we go. We did pull the lever. Wait a minute. Is this now in the way? Oh no! Oh no! The gate may have been jammed. I didn't even know that this is a thing. This is quite amazing, and this is a reason why I did not prepare this very well. However, this floodgate doesn't really matter. It's more the other one that matters, so that we can get down. Really, neither of them matters that much, but yeah, I may have screwed myself a little bit, and we may need to, like, fix this out. But, I mean, that is to say that there is real plumbing going on here. Real-life plumbing. But, yeah, it's fluid dynamics. Anyway, I am the bane of my own existence, and I'll have to figure that out, although that doesn't really matter. The main thing that I wanted to do in this video was this, and probably too, I'm going to say something positive about my own demise now, is that if this water keeps on flowing here, it's likely that the sediment will eventually all get through, I'm thinking. Yeah, that could happen, because if that eventually gets through like this bit of jet here has, then we'll be able to close the floodgate again, and then fix this thing up. Anyway, we were making a pool, and we were sort of flooding it for our dwarves, but the main idea is that the screw pump takes the water from below the grate and the level below, and then it pumps it out here, and this is on the current Z level. Anyway, I had to dry this up because I accidentally got water everywhere, and I had to build walls around it, but it's cool. And then anyway, that fills up to the current level, but it will never overflow that level, if that makes sense. Some people were asking about whether water overflows onto the next Z level. Maybe there's some way to do it, but for these machines, that's not how it works. At least as far as I can tell. Other things that I've done, so my main idea, and I know that there's better ways to do this, like pump stacks I was looking up. But yeah, there's all kinds of tutorials on YouTube now, just so much in my recommended. of like all these insane contraptions that you can do, and I'm sure you guys have been getting recommended these too anyway. But yeah, no, pump stack, we've got that, or we'll maybe do that. I'm just going to do sort of like a waterfall. I find that the best way to learn this game is to just do things that seem cool and then just screw them up and stuff like that. So I'll probably do like some line of water here. And I know I could have done it in a pump stack way, but then this would kind of give us like a whole line of water out here, and it might look somewhat cool. Anyway, my first fort is bound to look like just a bunch of experiments gone wrong. Okay, a couple of other things. I just want to summarize some stuff before we go much further. And I'm probably just going to play around a lot with fluid dynamics. I want to get a waterfall going, because if you mist your dwarves with the waterfall water, apparently that gives them a really good mood. My fort seems to be in pretty good condition. We've had like hundreds of people want to move in. And, I mean, that's good, but, what was I going to say? At the same time, they're all probably going to eat themselves to death. So we did have to change the drink order. I'm just going to kind of ignore that, though, and keep working on the game systems, because I find that the discoveries are more interesting. And, like, occasionally we'll babysit our dwarves, but I'm just not ready for that amount of commitment yet. So we'll kind of, like, go back and forth. I know it's going to be bad, but just, like, live with it. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm having fun. And if I'm having fun, it's the best way to play. I'm very much of that philosophy. Anyway, another thing that we did, let me just go over the rest of our findings before we kind of get on and continue with the fort. Actually, I'll be talking about this for a while, because we spent like 3 hours playing yesterday. I built downward, and I made a tunnel, because you knew I wanted to get running water for the hospital, so we built a well over here. We have a well, and we have like a long kind of tube that we go down with a staircase next to it, just because why not? And we have a dolomite floor hatch that we've closed and forbidden, because we don't want mermen getting up and in and out of it. So that was apparently a thing. Have we got another song going on at the tavern now? Oh. Anyway, this has been very good to sing along. Yeah, there we go. Oh. Usually I change the chat to all emoji when we do that. Anyway, speaking of which, I will turn back on notifications. Oh. This is kind of an EDM banger, though. Right, so I guess we'll like kind of keep going through it as we are like roused by this music. So we made a well, and that was exciting, and now we have water to pour water on people's broken legs. Other than that, let me see, the work orders menu. I figured out how to do better like work orders without having to go to every single shop. And now it's like a universal order, so we can order anything to be made and basically control F search everything. I just hit O to do that. That's here in the labors menu. Oh, labors menu. What other things we do? We buried a lot of people. A lot of people have died, so we just made a bunch of tombs for them. Another thing that we did was start designating the rooms. This was kind of cool. We did multi-designations so that we could get, let me see. Oh, it's like so rhythmic and nice. Tomb. Okay, so we did multi-tomb placement. Did we do it like this? 2 tombs created, so now we can create multiple rooms as long as they both have tombs in them. But I'm going to go ahead and say, and I learned this one from... Wait a second. Is this it? Yes, we can also double-click, which is amazing. There's so many ways of designating zones. It's so many, like, advanced auto-hotkey types of things. Well, maybe not auto-hotkey, but here, now I can just double-click on it and it works too. I can multi-designate. There's so many amazing ways to do everything in this game, and it's incredible. It is. That's what it is. It's incredible, in a word. So that's where we're at with that. Other things that we did... Oh, no, it's over. I always feel so forlorn and empty when the song ends. But alas. Anyway, we did have a dwarf that needed a slab engraved. And did we actually engrave this slab for him, or did we just retrieve his ruins? Because his ghost was haunting us, and that was awful. Just some more things, like an overwhelming number of things have come at me, but they're all very exciting. Anyway, another thing that I did, and I showed this to chat, was you can record macros. Rightful heirs inherited the position of the Lord of the Fellowship. Okay, very good. So we were also recording macros. So You know, if you mine, you can do it in the mouse way, which is quite exciting. However, in Old Dwarf Fortress, that didn't used to be so convenient. It would have been a lot more keyboard clicks and clacks. So another thing you can do, and I've found here, I kept using WASD for this, WASD, but that only moves the camera, so I was confused. But I found that you can use the arrow keys to record macros still, which is fine. And another useful macro that we had was this. So if I go to mine, and let's just... M, and I'm going to make sure that I have the square that I want to start on highlighted here. So now if we go to Control R, and you see how that recording thing lights up in the corner, right? That means that it's recording my keystrokes. So I'm going to hit Enter. I actually have to hit Enter on my keyboard, and then let's go like that, and then let's go over to the left and do this again, and it's recording all of my keystrokes. Again, I'm using the arrow keys and Enter to do those designations, and then I hit Control R again, and that ends the macro playing. So that's basically like recording a little blueprint, and you can do this for something really big or small, but this is one of the more power user things, and I was like, ooh, this still exists, so I can now just do this. Of course, it doesn't work with mouse clicks. This is more like at least that I've found. Maybe it could. So it's not quite like that auto hotkey thing, but you know, I just thought that was kind of cool if you want to designate out a lot of rooms. That was in Legacy. Somebody once came into my Twitch chat and showed me that. I thought it was a really neat thing. Was it in DF Hack or something like that? Or was that in, we had to beg Tarn to keep this feature. Honestly, the thing that's funny is that it's not really necessary, but it's kind of cool to know, especially if you're making something really large and repetitive. So, I don't know, one of the cooler things where I wasn't actually scratching my head because somebody had just told me it a couple of years ago, and it was one of those things that kind of blew my mind, so I wanted to show that. But honestly, the keyboard and mouse has kind of made it redundant because you can just kind of go like this, B, and like, what is it, P for doors and hatches, and then like, whoops, I'm repeating, and then you don't have to do it. So it's much more visual. Quite honestly, maybe not as necessary, but a cool thing to know. Totally necessary for Legacy, though. We had an unretrievable body. I think that was pretty much it. We double-clicked the tomb. I learned that one from Royale with Cheese. Also, by the way, shout out to him. He's been doing some coverage on this game, too, and it is quite amazing. We made some toys for our dwarf children. I can't certainly remember where. Oh, yeah, because we used them in the labors menu. I don't even know where the toys were being made, but they have a bunch of stone toys now. Oh, God, there go the Dralthas in our stockpile zones. Our stockpile zones are being automatically organized by our dwarves, which is also awesome to look at. Because the dwarves are intelligent, and they're actual humans they're not even computer programs. There's just humans running around there in the game. Human sentient consciousnesses that... Yes, that's right. The souls of people have been sacrificed in order to make this game, so please be thankful. No, of course I'm kidding, but what that all is to say is that the dwarves will kind of automatically sort on their own into like intelligible stockpiles, which is quite amazing, and I didn't even know existed in the game, so hats off to Tarn and Zach for coding that in somehow. Amazing. We made some mugs for people. We locked up that hatch at the top. I'm getting to the end of my list here. We smooth boyed out our boulder. We had a boulder here up on the top, and I didn't know how to get rid of it, so I had to smooth boy it out. There was one that was in the middle of our defenses, but we kind of hollowed out this whole area. Another thing I've found is my wall was very patchy there. For some reason, my work orders just keep getting randomly suspended. Or I may have suspended them myself, but I'm going into these menus and just making sure that I unsuspend them. We will resume them. We also built a little bit of scaffolding because I was trying to figure out exactly from where they construct things. We've got seasonal saving on. I think that's pretty much it. We did a couple of ramps. We learned the difference between like floors and paved roads. Just like a bunch of kind of a little bit pedantic stuff, but I wanted to make sure we kind of got to it. Another thing that was interesting was we examined the way that trees grow in the game world, and different breeds of trees are growing at different rates, because I cleared these out at the beginning, but now many have grown back, and this is also amazing. What else is there to say? Oh yeah, so we pulled up a tree, and I could do this here, but if you see my farms, and let's just do this for the sake of argument, because it's neat, and I like it. We're going to just chop down all the trees over our farms, and I'm sure that one of these will likely tear up roots that will lead into one of them. In fact, let's just go to the corner of our farms up here, which is this square. Yeah, let's do, okay, I remember where it was. I can't remember what the hotkey was for that, but yeah, just do that. I'm trying to use more of the UI. Anyway, I have too many stairs right now. Just ignore these stairs over here for a little while. But now I've designated a chopping order for these, and there's actually roots underneath the tree, which is amazing. And they tore up the roots, and people were able to climb over the walls, which is why I keep chopping down over here. But we might just floor these areas so that trees can't grow, but it's cool for the sake of demonstration, so I will leave these orders up. Unless if they are just so busy with the farming right now. In which case, good, because, like, we're basically at subsistence with drinks right now. Like, I just have not done a very good job taking care of my dwarves, but I'm learning, and it's cool. Anyway, maybe they will, maybe they won't get... They'll get to that eventually. One other thing I could probably do... Can I do this? Can we get order... Yep, we can get order priorities. So let's make all these a priority 1, and maybe that will, like, slightly up them in here. Or maybe just... Okay, there we go. Mr. Blinking Boy is coming up. Good. So that means that they are actually getting to some of these. Maybe we will, or maybe we won't, or maybe we'll just put a hole into our farms and cause all of our untimely demises. Or maybe someone will die underneath the tree from felling it. Nope, that one didn't. But it was a patch of dirt beneath the tree, which is exciting. Maybe one of these is a very large tree. Let's see if it's... This tree appears to be very large. So maybe when they take up this tree... Maybe then it will happen. Okay, here we... Yes, we did it! Ah, amazing. Amazing. So if you can see through to there, see how this square is like slightly more paled than the rest? And that's actually showing the fungal floor underneath. So I wish that this were a little bit clearer as to where it is. Because it's a bit hard to spot that. Like, honestly, unless if I didn't point that out, you probably would not have seen that, as I did not. But everyone was like, oh... Look, there's a hole in chat. Are there 2 holes? If so, where is the second one? Let me see. Oh, Blind. Hey, Blind. Blind is in chat right now, by the way, guys. Also, quick shout out to Blind, who, like, if I did not say it before, has just been making, like, amazing tutorials, and is just, like a chill, all-around person. But gathering from the surface is a good way. Yeah, we've kind of been getting a bit into the farming. Maybe we'll do some of your, like, silly minecart antics. I did feel like, you know, it might just be more fun to make them into, like, roller coasters. Oh, here's another hole into the undergrowth. Hang on a moment. But yes, like, it is overwhelming, and, like, you very much did condense the knowledge down into a way that I could understand it with my smooth brain, so I just wanted to say that. But thank you very much. Like, you are an amazing person, and it's been a privilege to just, like, kind of play this game alongside some of the most amazing streamers of all time. Which, honestly, like, to be fair, I'm not even saying that sarcastically, because my taste in games is far more eclectic than the stuff that I do on the channel all of the time. Although I do, like, all of my nostalgia is very much my own. But that is to say that, like, a lot of the games that I enjoy playing are overly complex because, well, I'm kind of a geek. But yeah, like, that, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm flooring way too much here. I think I need to do only the tile that it's on, but I also just want to kind of go overkill here. My dwarves are pretty much all gathering wood now. This is quite an exciting sight to see all of my dwarves doing this. Oh my gosh, there's so much movement on screen. However, that being said, you're all probably going to die in a heap because I don't have enough drinks for you and I don't care about you. Other things, okay, task list. Oh, another thing that we did see was the task list because we had all these things suspended and we wanted to figure out what the hell we were doing wrong. So I went to, I want to say it was in the labor menu and then tasks. Yeah, there it is. I don't know a faster way to zoom to that yet. But anyway, it tells you what all of your dwarves are doing. And we should have a list of constructions. Yeah, clean and, like, what they're trying to do, storing things away. We don't have any constructions going on right now because there's nothing that I ordered that was suspended. But here's where you'll find it. And you can see if it's suspended with a pause icon, which is quite nice to know. I'm pretty sure that's most of what I wanted to say. We did scaffolding. I removed floor. Some of the floor road removal is a little tricky. You got to click into it sometimes. Sometimes you got to highlight it. But just kind of picking up on those things. What else did we do? And then we were mainly just working on the water. But that is a summary of our 3.5 hour stream of just bumbling through the game Anyway, sheesh. That was a lot to go through. I was thinking also of, like, messing around with some minecarts, irrigation, artificial waterfalls, artificial lava falls, aqueducts, traps, and the main gate. And that's quite a lot in one sentence. I doubt we'll get to it. Let's just get, like, a quick burst of dopamine rush. So I'm just going to muddle through making... I think I can do things even without asking chat about them. Ooh, I'm tantalizingly fast at getting all the clicks and clacks now. I'm going to make wooden minecart because I've been advised by my doctor to do this. Yeah, honestly, like, that is the satisfaction of Dwarf Fortress, is knowing that you did something good for the world. I mean, what I meant to say was, here we go. We're going to just make a track of Doom. Let's just see if this works. It's kind of funny that you can't get the right angle that way. But yeah, like the satisfaction of watching a bunch of ants do what you want them to do. Like lemmings, you know? Let's make a minecart that just shoots someone into the river. This is not a nice thing to do. But I mean, look, I have 129 dwarves. I could take a massive death spiral. I'm wondering if I should put like some sort of ramp. Now, I would like to just make a mistake. I'm not even going to read. I'm just going to struggle here. That's what I'm planning on doing. Anyway, we could have it pick up some speed. That would be exciting too. Okay, we've set up our minecart, this is basically the world's most useless minecart track. I wanted something that flung them into the river. And I don't think that this water is really deep enough to drown them. However, I might do some damage to my dwarves. I have set it. There they go. So they kick themselves into going on the minecart. And this is basically like just a perpetual motion machine. This guy is just, look, he just went on it twice in a row. Oh my gosh, he doesn't have anything else to do. Amazing. However, we had to set up like a track stop here. So we built the tracks and we built a track stop underneath B and constructions and track stop and so on and so forth. However, then once we do that, we built mine carts, we did labors, and these were made in our carpenter's workshop because we did mine carts, and there's look at all the amazing things you could make them out of. You probably just want wood, though, so you should probably scroll to the bottom. Anyway, then we set up a route here, which we've got an assigned vehicle. I'm going to just add a new route. So I didn't know this, but fortunately we have the amazing Blind IRL in chat who has been making some amazing videos and is also giving me some tips as I go. So thank you very much, sir. But yes, it is quite good to have you here. This is the one I created for my water ride, so I'm just going to recreate this. Let's just exit out and start from scratch. We do add new route. Whoops-a-daisy, we didn't do water ride. Oh, this is the entire thing. Never mind. Let's just create it. You will have this add new route screen. So we will call this water ride. So let's just recreate it. And pretty much we are starting at stop 1. So we click the add stop and it starts here, but we haven't assigned a minecart to it. So now we have to add a minecart. So we will do persimmon minecart. And look, the assigned vehicle wants to be at this stop, but is not currently there. Very sad. This vehicle wants to be at the minecart stop. So I don't know if this is the same one as we started with. Is this the persimmon one? It does appear that it is. So they will just bring back the minecart and they put it down. And then someone will come over here. Well, actually not yet because we have to now recreate the route. But we could set it to load stuff or do something actually useful, but I just want mine to do something silly because I just want to show it. And we could have them either push the minecart, we could have them kick the minecart, or we could have them ride in it, which apparently when they ride in it, they kick themselves or whatever you would call it. But then we set the direction, so I don't want it to go north because there's no north to go. I don't want it to go south. East we will take. And then we want it to say, I don't need any of the desired items because there's nothing I want them to have in it. I just want them to get in the cart and ride it, which is quite funny, at least in my opinion. However, so now someone comes down, and apparently this guy has a lot of cats. This might be unfortunate for the cats. And then he gets them to the cart, and then he rides over there. Although I hope it's not this guy because then the cats will probably drown. Because what I'm about to do next is going to be probably detrimental to the dwarves' health, let's just say. But I wanted to see if I could get them into the river, which apparently they just glide innocuously over the river. And that's not really as much fun. We wanted to see, like, how do the dwarves deal with water? Honestly, like, you know, in the name of science, let's say a lot of these dwarves are going to go where, let's say, no dwarf has gone before. So yeah, there is that. Let's do M and U, and I'm going to make this just a little bit wider. And oh my gosh, you really seem very eager to do this. Oh no, that's so unfortunate. Anyway, I'm going to channel out the river here. And we might as well. I doubt that they'll really get into so much trouble, but I've been amazed by, excuse me, how quickly water really takes over in this game. Also, too, I just realized that I missed a lot of subs, and I can't possibly scroll back up. So if you did sub, please at me so that I can thank you and just say subscribed. And Dandery, and also D-Tone and Sikera. Thank you very much for the subs. And Xena. Thank you. Thank you guys, as well as the Muckler. Thank you very much. All right, so we've channeled out this part. So now I'm going to... I've learned to respect and fear water, but I think that it's funny. As well as Gear Belt. Thank you very much. Okay, so we will channel this. I'm just trying to think if I want to... Do I want to make it any deeper? Well, let's just see what happens when we do one level of water. And then we'll do something crazier soon. It's a very deep water slide. Eagle Eye, thank you very much for the sub. No, I'm just going to do one. I'm doing this in a controlled way. Oh, there we are. Don't you love the sounds and the songs of Dwarf Fortress? Safety first, or something like that, yeah. Well, I mean, here was like another example, and I'm sorry that I didn't catch this on camera. You can go back through the stream if you want to see it, but... Well, that's a silly thing to say. Okay, she's hitting the ramp. So, ooh, this is interesting. Some of them came over to this square, didn't they, before? Or did they go with different velocities, maybe based on the weight of the dwarf? Man, there's even more experiment. Or maybe I'm just seeing things that aren't there. I don't know. No, actually, you did go to that square as well. Huh. Perhaps I have been mistaken here. Anyway, it does appear as if we have a miner going there. Okay, good. And the water is going through, so now you can see the water starting to flow through. And it looks like the minecart is getting kind of bounced around in there. Did it get destroyed? Or is it just underneath one of these things? Hang on a moment. We did have the remains go there, and no, I can't really find the minecart. I wonder what happened. Downward slopes, except... it could be that. It could be something with the downward slope that changed it. Nicky Donuts, thank you very much for the sub. Bruce, thank you very much for coming out. And thank you for the kind words. So here we are. It looks like we don't have much more flow going there. It's interesting the way that it shows flow. I wonder if that's movement. I thought that was purely aesthetic, but maybe now that we have stagnant water that this is a stagnant pool. If there's something more going on. The bottom right pool of the mine... Oh, wait a second. Is there a minecart and I didn't see it? Oh, you're right. Yeah, it says Persimmon Wood Minecart right there, although we can't see it. We have water, 833. This is an exceptional Persimmon Wood Minecart. It is coated with water. So it doesn't appear as if any of them really want to come back and get it when we do that. Let's see what happens if we assign a different minecart to that route, if we put it into water, because I basically wanted to make a dwarf water slide and just see how they would react with that. Can we deassign a different one? Do we have to reassign a different one if we do that? Thank you very much for that question. How did you actually see that? I wouldn't have even picked up on that unless if I had highlighted that square. Like, there's no indication right there that there's a Minecraft or a minecart beside that little text. Like, did you just happen to see it when I do that? You saw me mouse over it. Okay, yeah, that's a little hard to see. Also, too, the thing that's funny is that these aren't actually blinking. Like, this is all... Well, like this one is two different objects, but they aren't blinking. I don't really know what I'm talking about here. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, no, we've even got like a slight flow going there. That's interesting. Yeah. Neat. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and get a different stop going. So let's say inaccessible from first stop. So apparently they can't access that. How will they like drowning? Let's try a different one. Let's just have them use a pine minecart. This may not be best, let's say, for the dwarves' healthcare. However, we will do it for science and for the future of all other dwarves. How deep can the game go, or how deep can the minecarts go? I truly don't know. I imagine we could fling them into many layers underneath of magma, which I'm looking forward to doing because that's pretty much been the plan from day one, is to just fling a bunch of dwarves into magma, which of course the carts will float on the magma and they will enjoy a nice... I wonder if that's actually possible for them to have like a magma boat. Okay, here we go. What is your name? We should at least know what your name is before you possibly drown. Kumil Kadal Dan. Oh, no, not Kumil Kadal Dan, man. I'm really sorry that we picked him. Everyone loved Kadal Dan, man. Well, let's see where he's going now. Okay, let's follow him. Let's follow him as he goes here. Possibly to his own death. Oh, no. He was almost... Okay, so he almost drowned. He lost the cart, and then he was fine. Well, let's just... Hang on a second. What were you thinking when you were doing that, Kumil Kadal Dan, man? What were your thoughts? He's not so, he's a little bit nonplussed right now, I would say. He is annoyed when he was caught in the rain. He doesn't feel anything after he's seeing a jumping spider. He doesn't really have any thoughts about this experience yet because he's just trying to walk it off, it appears. Does he have skills? Does he have a swimming skill or like an athletics skill? Does that exist in this game? I legitimately don't. Did you just say, does that exist? Are you kidding me? Whoa. Skills. Swimmer. I guess some of them, like, if they couldn't swim, then that would be kind of crazy. Ooh, yeah, we do have all these kind of qualitative words for skills. I don't really see anything with... He is rusty. Oh, man, skill degradation? Does that exist? That is cool. Wound. I don't happen to see swimming on there, though. Oh, other skills. Dabbling swimmer! Yes, so he's dabbled in it, we might say, by almost drowning. That is quite cool. Oh, my gosh, that is neat. There's so much to do in this game. The beige of incenses. My God, there's like an essay around every single corner that has been generated by an AI in this. This game is so cool. All we were trying to do was send one guy on a water ride. Or water park ride, but that is quite amazing. I'm enjoying, though, like, combining these kind of cellular automata-based systems. Not really cellular automata at this point. Maybe the minecarts are just like a velocity. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I just like saying words that sound vaguely mathematical, although I don't really know what I'm talking about. But this is quite cool. That is amazing. I'm just going to leave that there because that was my stupid experiment with this. I'm sure there are, like, other stuff you can do with... I don't know, I've seen people do stuff with slopes. I'm not really ready to explore that yet. I just wanted to do it and know that it was there and somewhat be decently proficient at getting it to work. And that's pretty much been the name of the game for this whole series. So now, other things. We could feed our dwarves, and we could make sure that everyone stays alive. And we could do a lot of other things that would probably be useful for the fort, but maybe like a little bit more boring. So I don't really want to do any of that, and I just kind of want to play with water because I think it's so interesting, and it's the whole reason I'm, like, super into this right now. So I don't really want to go too much more into these flood... well, I do. In truth, I do. But I think what would be tasteful would be if we created some sort of water path so that we had a bunch of water going uphill. And then I want to bring water above our tavern, and I want to splash in like a whole wall of water over here. I think that would be neat. So I'm going to attempt to do this over the next 30 minutes, probably. Yes, let's do... I'm going to just save. I'm going to do pre-waterfall attempt. I mean, if we get invaded by zombies or something like that in the meantime, it's just going to be a good time. I told you that this series was going to end in some unexpected way. But yeah, I'm going to make quite a lot of screw pumps. I've already ordered all of the mechanisms created. I'm pretty sure that they're automatically getting done. So let's just architect out what we want to do. And I'm going to explain it really quick, really fast. So I have been told that putting mist near your dwarves makes them happy. Let's just try to do this elaborate idea just to make this thing happen. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking that a good way to do this might be to go up one level higher. Can we get access mountain there in any way? This might not work from this level. We might end up having to move down our tavern. Okay, maybe we could do that then. This would be a little bit simpler. We could move our tavern. I mean, everything is going to be horribly disorganized by the time we're done with this anyway. So then we won't have to do this elaborate. It might not look as cool, but we'll get the job done. So I'm thinking that down on our... I'm going to keep thinking... things won't look architecturally nice, but, you know, just bear it in mind. Let's move our tavern, I don't know, beneath the catacombs. I don't know why. This is a horrible idea. But let's just say we're going to do a big old hallway over in this direction. And we want to just use this stream of water that we already created. This was for what? Our well, I think? Yeah, this is for our well. So we'll use it for 2 things then. And we're going to go ahead and say... Let's just mine out another room here. We'll do this, like, here. This is going to be the world's worst tavern. Make it, like, that big. Is that right? I mean, if we do make a mistake, wouldn't that be more entertaining? You didn't come here to see me be safe with dwarves. So, let's just go ahead and say... Well, maybe we'll make it a bit smaller just so that we could get the mist effect. I mean, if we could get confirmation that we're doing it right, that would be kind of nice. I gotta admit, so let's just go ahead and make it. Well, we'll make this hallway a little bit bigger over here. And what I'm ultimately going to have to do is generate a waterfall. I did kind of want to show you me doing another pump, though. Because pumps pump up. It might be kind of overrated. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. If we pump from the lower level... Well, we could do it from a much higher level. That would be fine. I just want to make sure that I give myself enough room. Anyway, so let's just go ahead and take a look. Maybe we'll start from the river itself, and then we'll work on the tavern. Scratch that. Let me just delete some of these. That's good, but I have another idea. Okay, so we're going to keep going back and forth between Z levels, so keep an eye on this number where I'm at. I'm at the highest level right here. And again, granted that I could do this in a way more efficient way, but I just want to show you what I'm kind of getting at. Let's go ahead over this away. And we're going to mine out there. And let's mine out a little bit like over here too. Oh, wait a minute. No, we've got to go 1 level up. So we're going to go over this way. Because remember, the pump is going to pump from the level below. So if we go up here, and let's say let's mine out, and I'm just going to kind of forsake the rest of my fortress. I just want to do this fortress to make silly experiments. If we go like this, mine... Okay, this is going to work. This should work. Go like that. And then let's give ourselves a little bit of space over here. So we're going to have... Oh no, I'm probably going to flood my hallways accidentally. Too bad. Oh no. Well, we'll put in a floodgate so that we can... Let's just make our fortress a giant mess. This would be way more interesting. Oh man. We'll make the... Okay, they are 1 priority. Alright, so they're going to mine out over there. And we'll also put in... I guess we'll end up having to channel and grate. So let's do this. Then we'll channel. Wouldn't it be so interesting if I made a huge mistake in this? Oh my god, that would be amazing. So we'll do that. No, also, I was told that Alt and plus or minus decreases or increases the FPS. Not sure if I'm doing this right. Maybe did I just do it? Or increases and decreases time, I suppose I could equally just as well say. Video, there we go. 50? 50 to 100. Although we could also change it here. I'm just going to leave that. I'm not quite sure I know what I'm doing. Anyway, somebody gave me that tip, but I have yet to try it out. Okay. Oh no, it would be horrible if we accidentally channeled it and we caused our entire bedroom chamber in the catacombs to flood. I wonder if that does happen though. That would be such an amazing way for the series to end well. I mean, I'm going to have to. Please remind me if I forget to do it. Like, I should purposefully flood the entire fort at the end. Now that we're basically doing this. Yeah, call it a waterbed. That would be interesting. Anyway, so what I'm trying to do here is this. I should explain why I'm doing this in such a scuffed way. Look, I could just do a waterfall and that would be fine, but I want to make sure that I show you a little bit of how to use these mechanisms, or the screw pumps, in case if you don't know how to use them. Ooh, we've had the water evaporate up here, and we have a small pile of mud. That is amazing. But what fun would that be? So I'm going to try to make it more complicated than it has to be, just so that we could do it for science. Looks like these guys are good. They're wheelbarrowing more stones out of there. The other dwarves are kind of bringing things around. Speaking of which, this may very well flood out. Oh, I'm seeing something very bad that could potentially happen. We should make sure that we haul these things out before, because I'm going to put in more floodgates. Okay, so what's going to happen here is, and let's build one of these floodgates right now. B, machines and fluids. We'll put a floodgate in. I'm going to want to put in multiple of these things just because, yeah, like it's not smart. So we'll put one there, and we'll put like another one here as just a failsafe in case if anything goes horribly awry. 3, I think, would be a little bit overkill, so we'll just leave it there. Then we're going to get some levers attached to these things so that we could operate the floodgates remotely. So we'll put one, like, I don't know. You could really put them anywhere, but I'm just going to put them down here as reminders to myself. Like, this is probably not the best place for these levers, but I don't really care. Panta, thank you very much for the Prime. Accidentally flooded as many forts you wouldn't have to be. Yeah, I mean, I am kind of excited, though. Okay, so now I've accidentally trapped all of my dwarves in there, so that's not amazing, but let's go ahead and link this lever to this one. And I think it's quite obvious. I could rename these, so like left floodgate, and I could name the other one right floodgate, but I don't really care. That's probably going to get me killed later on. But yeah, that's where we're at. Is it linked yet? No, somebody's going to come over and link this thing. You know what? Maybe I will name them right floodgate. Whoops. Oh, who cares? Okay. Link lever to this one. So good. That is there. And we need mechanisms to do this. So someone should come over and link these things up. Petitions. Fine, you can entertain us. Come in. But again, I'm not really going to worry about the health of my dwarves or really their well-being at all for right now. So here we go. We've ordered the pulling of this. This floodgate is down, but we want them to be able to get out. So good. Now they're getting out. Let's also pull this one. We'll do that after we link it up. So good. Somebody has come down here and linked it. Oh, wait. No, they did not. I stand corrected. And it does actually kind of animate slightly as it does this. So I want to make sure that we get all this sediment out of the way, because I'm now learning that we can get these things blocked, which is not good. So we want to make sure we clear out all of the sediment first. Pull the lever, Crunk. Yes, an Emperor's New Groove reference. It's always the perfect time for an Emperor's New Groove reference in Dwarf Fortress. That was the lava. Whoops. I guess we should set this as a new zone. Okay, we'll set this as, we'll make this F5. Recenter on this. Let's do this. F5? Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. That is the good. Oh, so you can actually do it from the UI as well. That is quite nice. Link a building to trigger it. For some reason, they aren't really getting this one done. Why are you not working on this? You did it with the other one. Did we suspend the task? It has been suspended. Oh no. It's probably because we pulled the lever and then that suspended the task. I'm getting a little bit faster with these things. When it's green pause thing, it means that it's suspended, but you know, black pause thing means it's not suspended. So just keep that in mind. I'm not really aware of everything that causes a task to suspend yet, but I'm getting faster at it. Am I going to just need to deassign the order and then do it again? Okay, nope, it looks like somebody did it. So we'll pull that lever and then we'll open up that other floodgate. So at this point in time, I'm going to do some channeling. M and U. Some of these orders are getting very basic now for me. Like, I am using hotkeys for the basic mining. However, when we build things, I'm probably going to go into the UI. But just, like, word of warning, if you see me do something fast, I'm probably doing that. And I know we've got all the new UI stuff, and I should probably do it with the UI, but... Okay, so now here we go. We've shown this. I'm going to go ahead and just build a grate right there right now so that nobody falls in. So let's go with constructions. We'll do a floor grate, and this is going to kind of block off that area. More useful kind of with magma, but we don't want our dwarves to drown, because if they fall into this part, they really would die, because then they're basically in like an underground tunnel. I'm not sure if they can climb their way out or anything like that. Does that exist? I honestly don't know. What do we make that out of? Wood. Okay, so we've got a wooden grate here. Possibly not the world's best material, but it is what it is. So we can get water through this thing and through a pump. So what the hell am I going to do now? Okay, I'm going to have to link this thing to... actually, I could have a dwarf manually operate this. Maybe I will save that other stuff for a little bit later then. Because what I'm planning on doing... I'm just trying to draw this out in my mind. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Okay, your bedroom is just going to be linked to this thing now. Sorry. So sorry. You can climb up the stairs if you fall down. And then be beneath this hatch from which you never escape. We might want to put a grate in there, too. Come to think of it. Let's just put another path in case if anyone does get stuck in here. Anyway, what I'm going to go ahead and do next is to build another machine. And this is going to be our screw pump. So the screw pump is a bit funny. We need to change its direction here. So it pumps out water from the level below on this square. So it pumps this water out. It needs an opening, so we've used the floor grate. You don't really need a floor grate, it could just be an opening. And then pumps it out through this shooty mechanism. And then it goes out onto this level. So I'm going to build one there, and you can have a dwarf stand there and manually operate it. Or you can have, like, a windmill do it. I haven't done it with windmills yet, or wind turbine, I suppose you would call it. But yeah, like, I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to avoid new learning for right now. I'll do that later on. And make a lava slide. This can also be done, I mean, we would need to do it with, like, lava-safe components, but we could do it, pretty sure we could do it with magma, right? Or lava. Once it's emerged from the volcano, it's technically... Well, has it emerged from the volcano? This is one of the few things I remember from middle school science. Lava versus magma, you know, and the amazing difference between them. Okay, well, anyway, we've got the screw pump. Don't worry, it's not going to flood us just yet. We want to make sure that everything is just so before we cause the flooding, though. So now we've got it here, and what I want the water to do, and I've made it so it's slightly more elaborate and could go down multiple Z levels, we're going to want to channel down. Let's just make this, let's say we'll make it, I kind of want a wider waterfall here. So let's go ahead and make this like, I do have a diagonal. Do I have, is this the, nope, this one is the orthogonal. We do have a, oh wait, do we have a diagonal on the upper floor? Will this kill us? Will this kill us? Apparently it won't. See, the reason I don't think it's a diagonal is because is this square occupied? When in doubt, yes, it will kill you. Fair, fair. I'm going to put in an extra floodgate right there just in case, because I want to live. And I may end up sacrificing, I mean, having some dwarf conduct some scientific research. I think that's fine. We'll put in a floodgate. I'm going to put in an extra floodgate because I love myself. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's do this. Constructions, machines, and contraptions and levers. Okay, I'm going to put one here and one here. This is the world's worst construction. Like, don't do any of the things that I'm doing, but at the same time, it makes sense in a way that I feel safe. Because I don't know if I'm actually going to flood this yet because I don't have enough experience with these things. But just to show you how I'm kind of experimenting with these things, this is really fun, and I enjoy this. However, that being said, I don't know, just learn the game in a way that you enjoy it. Like, whatever keeps you playing it, because I find people tend to give up too fast because there's no, like, achievements or anything like that. So we have trapped her in there. And what we're going to do next, we'll also just set up the next part. I'm going to do some channeling here. Well, let's also dig out maybe like 3 wide. That would be cool, right? We also need to figure out where the water is going to go at the end. That would be nice. And then we will channel. And so we're going to channel down to the next layer. And then beneath that, we certainly want this thing dug out there. You know, maybe I should... No, maybe I should make this a little bit different. Just because I want to make sure that the water has enough room to flow so that we get a good water... like a nice wide waterfall here. So let's make it even one more. Scratch that. I'm gonna go down and like this. I want like a 3-wide waterfall here. Maybe they can get this thing going. This guy's trying to sleep. Oh god. It has been suspended. Is it been suspended because he's asleep? Is this thing linked? Show link. Oh yeah, you can also show linked buildings. Okay, so this one is linked. That's quite good. Somebody's gonna come over and pull this and let her out. At least I think they will. Yes, good. Yes, good. You are free. She is 9 years old. Okay. Whoops. We just let the child in with the, well, anyway, here we go. You. So now I'm going to channel down to the lower level. And then we'll mine out the lower level. And from here, I'm going to let it go down yet even another level. So we'll mine out this too. And then this is going to be the section that's the waterfall and the tavern. So let's make like a 5x5 tavern and just walk it over there. And then obviously we need somewhere for the water to go. Otherwise we'll just flood the tavern, which would also be great. Yeah, I'm probably gonna miss something horribly and then have it all like rush out at me. That is Dwarf Fortress for you though. Anyway, so it seems they've preserved a ramp here. Chalk upward slope, but then we just have cavern floors there. We'll just channel once we get down to the lower level. But just to kind of show you, like, if you want to do something crazy like this, I don't know, I'm trying to experiment with it, though, so mine is stupid, but yeah, like, this is kind of what you sign up for. But it's fun, though. It's like one of those elaborate projects. You know, I remember when I think I was 16 when Minecraft came out. Or was it that? No. It was in 2010. So I was 16 in 2010. So, what was I going to say? People would just make these crazy contraptions in that game, and it was amazing. Like, people would just do the craziest stuff. Okay, let's see how water works. I mean, otherwise we're all just going to die in a heap. Okay, so let's say that it'll go, like, one level below, and then let's just carve out a big tunnel that's... Well, maybe we'll make it a 3-wide tunnel, because I don't know how this flow is going to work. And we'll just put it back over here. Whoops. Okay, saving fortress information. It does take a little while to save. There we go. What could... Oh, we could just put a floodgate down here to block it from this part. So, yeah, let's do that. Okay, now I'm basically just going to try to get it to flow off of the map. I don't know if there's a better way to do this, though, honestly. Yeah, I genuinely don't know. Well, we'll learn it right now. Anyway, we'll put in another floodgate, and here's the main idea, is that... Just make sure I line this up right. Okay, so we will channel down again. M and U. And U down here. So we channel down, and that gets into the very next level again. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so let's close up these floodgates. This one I want to remain closed. Wait a minute, that got suspended again somehow. Well, we'll want that one open. Yeah. Phew! I'm going to pull this lever so that this floodgate gets closed, so that we don't horribly destroy the fortress. Whoops, I just did something that I should not have. So I'm trying to get them to channel down here. What have I done wrong? I guess I could, like, temporarily build stairs. Hydraulic press. Oh my god. Excuse me. What have I done wrong? Or, yeah, I made this spot inaccessible. This is like a pit. The many difficulties of building a waterfall. Hey, Chili Dog Dave, how are you? Learn to use Minecart. Oh, the mine. Yeah, everybody's been kind of checking out the new minecarts because they've been like more enjoyable in this version. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? This is going to be kind of a noob way to do it, and I'm sure there was a better way with some kind of ladder or something. But let's just dig over there because this is just. And we could put a floodgate here in case if any of it comes through, but it's just another path to it. Oh no, that's slightly off center. That will bother me though if I do this. Even for all our horrible contraptions, I want it to look somewhat good. Go ahead, do everything that you want. There we go. Do everything that you want. Hang on just a moment. Just moving around some windows. Okay, there we go. So, I will pull this lever so that someone can get to the contraption. And now we are going to mine out this part so that hopefully... Do you see the whole idea of this thing is basically this? I made this way too elaborate, but it's so that we can use this thing because it's cool. We could just mine down later on as well. Well, we can at least control the flow of water. That is quite nice. So we've got a dwarf mining out here to this level. Here is where the water starts. I'm going to go one level up, and we get the screw pump pumping out the water from the level below onto this level. Then it goes through to the next level, and they have channeled now. So then it goes through this level, and let's just build a floodgate here because... Or we could just climactically flood ourselves, and that would be exciting. Okay, let's just see what happens with that, because that would be interesting, wouldn't it? And then, oh no! Oh wait a minute, no, I did do this right. Okay, so now we have this, and I want the waterfall to be here. So let's do, wait for on the zone in a moment, but let's channel out this area so that they then dig down to the next level. So here's going to be the new tavern. Will fish flow? I don't know if we could, that would be amazing if we could get fish flowing with the water. My God, there's so much new stuff. I mean, for all I know, sediment is going to kill us all. It genuinely might, just because of what I've learned about this awful situation. Anyway, let's go ahead and put a floodgate here. I don't believe... Yeah, floodgates don't really have rotation, but they just kind of appear as that. Occasionally, items will have rotation. Like that screw pump that I did above, that can rotate. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so let's see. We've got another floodgate. Let's put in another lever here, and we'll just link it up. Maybe not that close. I'll put it like here and link it up. So supposedly they can just go over like infinite distance, these things, which is quite nice. But let's go ahead and link that up. I mean, it's fine closed right now. I don't see why we would ever want to open this thing. So we could just leave that. But yeah, pretty much that. So the water is going to flow this way. And I think we're pretty much ready. Oh, that's like famous last words. Okay, just in case if something goes horribly awry. Well, then we'll just let the fortress get flooded. I don't know, I'm a risk taker. I think I want to get started with it. Maybe, I'm worried about like what if the water slightly comes out and onto the next level? And will I need... yeah, don't ever pull that lever. Oh, it would be okay. I want to take a bigger unnecessary risk, though, so I think I'm just going to get started. Yeah, let's be idiots. This is like the sound of... in the Hall of the Mountain King, probably. Oh, wait, we didn't finish mining. Never mind. Let's link this one here, so we do need to open this back up for a moment. Good, they're making good use of those wheelbarrows. It's funny to think that there's a whole colony of them doing my will. Good stretch. It's nice to have a good AM stream going. Recenter on certain announcements. Again, let's just ignore everything because I know I'm playing horribly and being a bad person. But fortunately, Dwarf Fortress, I am able to experiment with my stupid ideas without everything going to snuff. Is it linked? Show linked buildings. It is linked. Have somebody come over and pull it. So it would probably be a good idea to clear out the sediment, but I do kind of want to see how the sediment flows as we go along, too. Or maybe these are just giant boulders. It's a rock. It's not a boulder. Of course, it's not a boulder. I know I'm going to forget one key thing when I'm doing all of this. Okay, so let's just chat for a moment, folks. When I get to the end of this, am I able to just dig off to the side of the map, just plain old normal? Or am I supposed to do a construction? Because otherwise this is going to be a big project here. And also, the reason why I'm doing it thus is because I simply don't know how much water pressure it's going to need, so I'm doing 3. Actually, you know, I don't really need to do all of that. I could just do it like this, probably. No, maybe it would depressurize. Well, we could do more experiments. We'll save that for later. I don't fully understand water pressure yet, but it is cool. Yeah, honestly, fair. We could end up doing that. Well, if we can get the water out of the map. You can't dig the edge blocks, but you can smooth them and then forticate them. Water will infinitely flow off the edge. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Hey, Nautilus Link. Hey, thank you very much for coming out, my guy. Thank you very much for that tip, too. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for. So smooth. We're going to smooth boy out the fortification. Our mechanisms are more or less complete. I've left a few gaps because I kind of want to make some mistakes here so that I could learn about water flow. However, that being said, I just kind of want to get on with it. I could have put floodgates on every single floor just to be really careful, but I want to have the tavern here. So let's just not put everyone down there, but I'm not even going to clear out the sediment here. I really should. And I might make a horrible mistake that could have this whole thing go awry. But I want to see if, like, we mined off to the edge of the map, and then we put these fortifications here so that hopefully the water will just flow off the map. I'm told that this is, like, sort of an exploit in how to get the water to path, but I'm not really sure I mean, not everybody seemed to be aware of this even in chat, so only a few folks seem to know of this, but whatever it is. I don't know if the sediment will block it also, too. I mean, if it does, amazing. We could just kind of bail ourselves out somehow, but I have a floodgate here. Basic idea is that here is where the water will flow to off the map, and just it's going to brush the sediments. I should get rid of them, but I'm not going to because I want to see if I can mess something up. Water flows down. Here's the tavern area. Water flows down through this level, and then it comes out here to begin with originally from there. I think I explained most of that. Let's just get on with this thing. Let's start the pump, and it'll be more interesting to watch it. Or if something goes horribly awry, then we'll stop doing it. Fortunately, we can tell a dwarf to stop the flow of water quite quickly if we want to, though. But here we go. We've got somebody. Okay, now it's beginning. I'm going to go down the level, and it looks like... Yes! Ooh. It's working! It's working almost exactly as intended. Although I should probably make this thing a little bit bigger. Cool. I mean, obviously I won't have a dwarf going on this thing forever, but this is cool. Ooh. And the water isn't going through here, so I was right. We didn't even need that floodgate there. Okay. So let's just go down here. We'll leave that dwarf working on pumping this water, like, indefinitely. We are getting more sediment there. I wonder if that's going to interfere with this. The sediment that we forgot to clear out from the very beginning. But yeah, this is neat. So, what will happen when it gets to the end? It's going to keep pushing the sediment along. I'm just worried. Well, we'll learn. We'll learn if sediment blocks archer fortifications. That we will. Anyway, it would be interesting, wouldn't it, if this were the way that the fort ended? However, that being said, let's just go ahead and make this another meeting area, and we'll call this our tavern. And then maybe everyone will have a major accident in here. New in tavern, the spice of papers. That's good. We'll make this an extremely cramped tavern because we don't really care. And then we will just get rid of this one. Let's go ahead and delete this one. Get rid of that zone. And then everyone should move down the stairs and into our new tavern, I'm assuming. We'll have them smooth it out, though. Smooth boy it. So that they can get the advantages of it. So we'll go V. Yeah, V for smooth. There we go. Maybe someone will fall in. It might be a good idea to have a grate here, right? It truly could be a good idea to have a grate there. Oh, you're tired. You're dehydrated. Too bad. We should probably take you off of this, but not until you're done working. I mean, I kind of value this experiment. What I'm starting to see, though, is that the water flow really isn't all that strong here because we had only, like, one square. Yeah, I was a little bit afraid of some of this happening. So our water flow just simply isn't that strong. But look, everyone's getting so nicely misted here. Do we have that? Are you happy because of being content being near a waterfall? So this entire experiment that I did with pumping the water was all just so that my dwarves could feel slightly more pleasant from standing next to a waterfall. And I think that that is a worthwhile endeavor. Let's just smooth out the rest of this as well. But yeah, I mean, Dwarf Fortress, where you go to unbelievable lengths in order to do trivial things, which I think is a great reason to play this game altogether. Look, there's so much water near me. And all for this woman at the top of it being dehydrated, you know? Now, obviously, we want to kind of improve this water flow here because we've just got a slow trickle. But now, what's an advantage of that is we could probably get somebody to come down here to collect the sediment, which has gotten in the way as well. Now that we've kind of completely dehydrated this tunnel. Oh, God. We probably want to source this directly from the river in the future, like not have these weak paths. I thought water would flow more forcefully, and yet it didn't. Because now they aren't even enjoying the advantages of that slight mist. Okay, I told you I would make some mistakes. I thought they would be more exciting and lead to death than this, but now we've got more water that's just uselessly flowing down here. I suppose if we wanted to, we could sort of recycle the same water through another stack pump.
Playing this. Is it any
As
good?
have I. Is the Pope Catholic? Nuclear kindness. Thank you very much for the 3 months. Yes, it's very good. Although it does take a little bit of time to get into it. Assuming they haven't changed anything for Steam, Mist is a very big mood buff. Yeah, I've been told that it's like a huge mood buff. So that's the reason why I wanted to get this thing going. Mainly just because it looks cool as well and is somewhat useful. This reminds me of the time I planted daylilies all over my RimWorld colony, though. I truly didn't know what I was doing because there are much easier ways to get your colonists in a good mood. But I learned about mood when I did it, so I'm happy to be at that phase with this game anyway. Truly, this was not such an amazing idea. There's a lot of other things I could have done that would have been better, but I wanted to get that entire experiment done. Honestly, like, could I, hang on a second. Who is up there? So nobody's actually pumping this right now. I could have a dwarf just stand up here and pump this thing. I think what we're going to be better off doing with this is just get a wind turbine or really a water wheel. Seems like it would be more consistent in order to get this thing powered. So let's go ahead and just build one of those. Let's go into machines and fluids and we'll make... Let's just do a windmill because we haven't done a windmill yet. Oh, we haven't done either thing yet, but I mean, I'm just going to do it. We'll put it, I don't know, like up here in some horrible spot. Doesn't affect work if it's 1/7. Yeah, like it pretty much doesn't get... And also, MP, hey, how are you? Thank you very much for the tip and the idea. And for coming out. Game seems to... water makes most of it drops from a higher... Yeah. Like, it seems to me that we should have just dropped the water in. Like, that would have been better. And I might honestly just do that rather than pumping it. So one thing I'm going to go ahead and just do right now is this. While it's safe, because I did that whole thing with the screw pump just for the sake of showing you the screw pump. It's really not all that useful. Let's just power it once so that we could see how that works, because I want to make it happen. If I can connect the wind turbine, but if it, I mean, even after it doesn't, it's simply inefficient. It's like using a bunch of machines to place something 1 foot away. We could literally just mine this thing out and it would work without me having to have any dwarves power this thing. So I will do that in the end. So let's just dig out some of this area. I'm going to go like around a bit and I'll do that. But for the sake of argument, in fact, I'll do all of this just so we could get a good flow going. For the sake of argument, let's just try to do it the more complicated way first. But I'll have them get that thing ready. Put that thing back where it came from. Did anyone just do that too? Okay, so the wind turbine is... Oh my gosh, that's exactly what a wind turbine looks like. Or wind... I guess it is a windmill because they don't really have turbines at this time. I've gone back and forth, but what are we milling? Jesus. Active, total power needed. So we've got a stable foundation here. So how do we actually connect this thing? Yes, it is Dutch. It's one of those beautiful Dutch landscapes. A steampunk and Pepsi Dog. Thank you for the subs. Do we need, like, cabling or something like this? If we do, gear assembly. Vertical axle, horizontal axle, transfer power on the same elevation. Oh my god. I wasn't even ready for all of this. We should probably do that with the future screw pumps. Okay, then we will do that later on when I screw water. I'm probably just going to put water all out into the plane after this. Deconstruct this. I will do it somewhere else. In fact, I'm going to just flood this plane now because I think it would be entertaining for you to watch. And we're getting to the point where I feel as though I've learned enough, and I would like to destroy the fort in some exciting fashion. So let's go ahead and put... Maybe not yet, but... I'm trying to think of how this will work. Well, we'll do it on this level. But first, let's just see if we can get this damn waterfall going. Okay, forget about this thing. Let's just do it in the simple way. Only because I don't want to link a wind turbine to the outer world. That sounds ridiculous. Let's see if we can mine all 3 of these. I could do this in an elaborate way with floodgates. But I think I'm just going to do it in the quick and dirty way. But I do see a spot right here where I'm going to definitely need a floodgate. I mean, I could say better safe than sorry, but I also just don't really see myself, like, investing too much more in this whole setup. So let's just do that. Again, you know, I'm not placing things in the right spot. I'm just going to stop excusing myself for that. You know what I mean? But I should remove the sediment from here. Ooh, actually, sediment. Yeah, that could cause my own climactic demise. Oh, well, I'll just climactically demise then, I suppose. Primarily only because I'm tired of watching dwarves move sediment. Although I imagine that that is going to be one of the more, like, long-term tasks that I should figure out. I'm just, quite frankly, I'm getting bored of watching that. And I find it more exciting to do this stuff. I know I'm an idiot, but yeah. You should probably move the sediment, I've learned. But we did have an opportunity to kind of go through this hallway. I wonder if we'll dump more sediment down now. Oh, what the hell is this? Muddy pigtails. This is kind of neat. So we've created, like... Honestly, this will probably create its own, like, fungal cavern over time. Neat. Like, if we let the water just kind of evaporate down there. It does appear as if it's evaporating, too. That's so cool. If you crawl the power system in Timberborn, it's basic. Ah, that is good to know. I didn't know that the Timberborn system was similar to this one. Train a dwarf to use jousting lance and have him run the manual. Yeah, channeling from above is probably going to be the best idea. I should learn to do that rather than just, like, let's see if we could dodge death for long enough. Trying to think of what I should do for that. For right now, I'm going to have to do the channeling thing later. I'm just going to be an idiot and do it this way for right now, and I apologize for that because I imagine it's very frustrating to watch me miss these obvious things. However, I'm a little impatient right now, and I'm very excited. Yeah, maybe we could mine all 3 of these if we get a chance. Oh, wait a minute. No, this will not work at all. I just am beginning to realize... Oh, well, I don't care. It's a race. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. We will pull this lever almost immediately after. Possibly trapping a dwarf in there. And causing him to... No, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Well, okay. Wait a minute. Get it. No, let's just let him stay in there. He will drown. Let him drown, then. Someone pull the lever now. Someone pull the lever now. It's flooding the catacombs. Okay, well, at least it has a place to, fortunately, mist off out into the other side. Good, the miner is going through there and will probably get caught up and slip and fall into the waterfall. And he didn't die. Okay, this is amazing. We're doing everything in a very quick and dirty way. I like that, though. Oh, we did it in such a quick and dirty way, and we somehow accomplished it also. Oh, where did you come from? Oh, what the hell? What? She came down the stairs. Okay, that is interesting. I forgot about that. That was a great moment. I love this game. I do love it. She was trying to get the sediment. Bless her soul. Okay, now is when we're going to close that, and hopefully you'll get out of there. Let's just forbid those other things. She really wanted to get the stone, so I love this. I love this. She'll probably jump into the pit for all I know. Someone pulled that. Okay, we're going to try to close that floodgate forever now. Good. That is closed forever to the dwarves, although someone will probably find an equally stupid way to get through it. So now we are auto-generating mist onto our tavern, and that is quite nice. I mean, it's not a very good flow of it, but I'll have to figure that out at some other future date, because I don't want to go re-engineer all of my stuff, but that's cool. Floor gates. Floor grates would probably be a good idea. Honestly, I'll put them in the tavern. Though, wouldn't it be interesting if someone had to learn to climb their way out? I think we'll just leave this one without floor grates. I'll put 2 floor grates in to remind myself that I should put in floor grates, but, you know, I wouldn't want to deprive you of more story, let's say.
Best streamer in history.
That's very nice of you. Thank you very much. You're very nice. Hey, wait a minute, is that Man Bear Pig? Oh, wait a minute. No, we've been over this. Only because Man Bear Pig made more videos, or we were seeing, and someone had messaged me, and he had done some Zomboid, and I wanted to see if he was there or something like that. But that would have been cool. But yeah. No, but thank you very much for the 6 months Man Bear Pig. Wait a minute. This is the Man Bear Pig? Of the Project Zomboid? Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. I'm in the presence of someone whom I greatly esteem. My God. Not the one I'm thinking of. Okay, well, yes, you are the honest Man Bear Pig. You are the other Man Bear Pig who is very honest and virtuous. Thank you very much, Man Bear Pig. Not to say that you are other Man Bear Pig, but only that I had originally known another Man Bear Pig. But bless you, and I hope you're having a nice day. I hope you're having a nice day. Thank you for being so honest. All right, mild heart attack right there, but yeah, there we go. So waterfall ready. We've got that. Ooh, okay, time for more experiments. So let's go back up to the land, and let's try to flood this entire floodplain. I don't really know if this water pressure is going to be enough, but I think it would be exciting, and let's give it a shot. I want to see how the sediment starts to move around, and I think that'll be fun. So let's go ahead here. We'll go up a level, and we'll probably have to use a horizontal and a vertical axis. So we'll go over here to... and the other reason is because I want the windmill to be above the plane, and it would just be crazy if we didn't have it, so let's do that. Okay, so now let's look into our axles and stuff like that. Machines and fluids, so horizontal axles transfer power between 2 adjacent elevations. Oh, whoops, that's vertical. Okay, so I'm assuming that we'll need to put these... needs ground or near machine. So I'm just going to have to get through this. Let's make a horizontal axle. Transfer power on the same elevation can be east, west, or north, south. So we do need to intentionally... engineer these things. But what about corners? Can we create corners, or do we need to create it like orthogonally adjacent? I do kind of want to mess this up, but I might end up having to create another one. Oh no. We do have minecarts. We do have minecarts over here. We were going for some rides on them before. Corners need gear assemblies. Thank you. Okay. I'm trying to make some mistakes here. Like, if I were on my own, I would just avoid learning. But that's one major advantage of streaming it. So we'll do a gear assembly, I assume, there. Although I don't want to... Oh, well, yes, let's overcomplicate it for right now. Say I wanted to... I could see a quick way to do it here, but I want to do this more complicated path. So let's do it like this. And then maybe down here. Could we do it? Okay, so I'm beginning to see how this works then. Thank you. I swear, you learn these games twice as fast if you play them while streaming, which is amazing. Building present needs ground or near machine. Oh, I guess because we haven't built them yet. Did I build that the wrong way too? No, that doesn't have orientation, it seems. Okay, so we will do a horizontal axle here. To, I suppose, here? Okay, so how do I do it when I'm above this channeled part? Because I need it to go... Hang on a second. I'm just literally clicking through everything. There we go. Let's go and do... It should hold up another corner. Yeah, I'm thinking this. Well, I'm just going to do it in the naive way, and then we'll figure it out. So we'll do gear assembly. What can I do? Well, it does need something to be on top of. So, well, let's go ahead and do this. Look, I know that there are easier ways to do these things, but I want to do the complex way because I want to make sure I fully understand it. Needs grounder near machine. Building present, blocked at this location. Needs grounder near machine. Put one more gear assembly on top of the pit. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so we just put a bunch of gear assemblies. Basically, anytime you want it to turn, you put a gear assembly. So, like, we'll do one here. And then we'll end up doing one above that, I suppose. Okay, that's starting to make sense to me. Amogus. Phew. Good. Oh, you aren't in love anymore. This fort has probably gone horribly to the detriment of my dwarves. I do apologize if you are, like, feeling sympathetic toward my dwarves. However, I'm going to continue neglecting them in order to learn the game, for the sake of future dwarves. But yes, I am very sorry. Okay, let's build a bee. Gear assembly. Okay, so good. So we are permitted to do one of these when we get to that point. Nice. Hey, Poop Balloon. Thank you very much for the very kind words. Yeah, learning the hard way is the fastest way to learn. It's kind of like learning coding. Like, you want to try something. Well, you want to do controlled experiments, but you also want to try to mess things up so that you really deeply understand it. And I deeply understand it when I make mistakes, so that's why I do it this way. Anyway, let's make more pipes that go along here. And do we actually need to click on that thing to link it? No, I think that this should work. Oh my god, that's not what I wanted. Suspend the construction. Can cancel that. I'm liking this little animation. I know that's not much, but it's just some more movement on screen. I don't know, it never hurts. So we can't build it directly on top, so we have to do that, I suppose. Okay, good. They are showing up linked. This is a very satisfying thing to do. And although all the gear assemblies just kind of show a right-oriented link, I assume that works like that. Okay, we're also going to channel out this part, and I'm going to do massive destruction here. I'm just, like, warning you. I'm probably going to mess up a lot of this stuff that I've done. But I'm getting to the point where I feel like I've learned so much that I'm just, like, I want to start messing things up. So, yeah, like, I will totally drown our corpse piles. And then maybe I will stop it later on in order to end this fuselage. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and MU, and there we go. Nice. I personally am very excited for what's going to happen next. Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward sprite, it's true. Okay, let's see if this thing is actually working again. Someone should come and channel this thing out. Ooh, it's happening! Alright, let's see if this thing is truly pumping out water. Or is that just the amount that we had? I mean, this could just be an amount spilled out everywhere. This is water coming out onto the plain. Is this thing working? Pumps from the north. Is it working? Total power 20. Total power needed 34. Okay, so we just simply don't have enough power. So this is... I mean, I know that we just saw the water come out, but the truth is just this is the water that was stored in that pool. I'm not going to go ahead and count it up. Neat to see that, though. Can get my marksman dwarves using the archery range. Pick up bolts. Oh, we've done a little bit of that. I can't get my marksman to use the archery range or pick up bolts. I'll show you my thing really quick. I kind of got my idea from Das Tactic. He showed this thing where you do, like, you create a tunnel underneath, and then you channel out, and you create a pit underneath so that they can get the arrows. Other than that, I've had them sort of on schedule to practice, but I think they might have just, like, disbanded. I haven't really kept an eye on these, though, so I feel like I'm bad for troubleshooting, but I hope it's working out. I don't know. That's my construction. But yeah, again, that was a DAS idea. So otherwise, I'm kind of useless on that. But okay, let's go ahead and try to supply this thing with a little bit more power. Sorry, I wish I had, like, I wish I had the answers. I just feel like I'd be pretty bad at troubleshooting. Maybe somebody in chat can help a little bit better. Machines and fluids. Let's go ahead and do this horizontal axle. So let's just try... I'll save this amount of experimentation for later, but what I'm going to try right here is this. Whoops. Could allow a floodgate. Yeah, I probably should have just put another windmill. I'm wondering, like, do we need to have multiple axles to get the power? Like, how much medieval technology, what level of that are we at? I think I know what I'm doing here, though. Whoops, here we go. Machines and fluids. There we go. Good boy. There we are. All right, gear assembly down. 30. That sound vaguely creepy to you? Good boy. There we go. And I've just run out of things to say to inanimate objects, so I start to call everything boy. Smooth boy, smart boy, secret boy. And you know, I mean, I have spent probably, it's going to amount to years by the end of my Let's Play career, talking to myself in a room alone. So you find a lot of things to say that make you satisfied with, yes, Dutch boy. Here we go, Dutch boy. Nature boy. Dutch boy. Here we go. What are you doing to... Oh, you're delivering. Okay, that makes sense. That seems sensible, of course. And let's do gear assembly there. And we will put this on top of the other one. And then we will do B and machines. And, no, not vertical axle. We haven't really confronted the vertical axles much, but I think I get how those work now. Those are quite simple. You would just be between multiple Z levels, of course. So let's do horizontal... Oh, wrong way. Here we go. This is the right orientation. And they will just finish off that thing. Okay, so... What an absolutely horribly complex machine for something so simple. Let's see how our tavern is doing for a moment. Okay, so they are slightly getting misted. The water hasn't really made it to the end yet. I wonder if the water would evaporate at a rate before it reached the end. It does seem like it'll reach the end. It's probably... Okay, yes, the fish are coming through, it seems. Wow, imagine that, like a fish. Like you're sitting at a bar or a tavern, and just a fish hops on the counter. Like you've just been, you know, sipping on your brew, and then here comes a fish. This is crazy. I wonder if fish will get caught in the grates. Like that they'll all just appear there. Literally, it will actually happen. The fish get caught in the floor grates. That would just deliver us free, delicious fish. That's amazing. I mean, right now, mermen can just come in this way, too. So, obviously, there's a lot of... I just thought of that. We totally should have put grates atop it, like, to prevent mermen from getting in. But, you know, we'll just have a merman invasion, and that's that. We're having a merman invasion, and you'll like it. Ooh, I had mentioned the animations. Looks like I forgot to confirm the click on that one. Now, look, the animations are animating. That's nice, is all I'm saying. Although this one isn't. I suppose because it's already powered? Total power. Well, we did manage to get it in. Okay, we'll give it a moment. It's a neat thing to do, and I don't know, like, I'm kind of, what I'm trying to establish in this series, I know I've gone over some of the same information multiple times, but it kind of helps me solidify what I know about the game, and ooh, this should start working. Wait a minute, what the hell? Okay, I'm gonna have to do some troubleshooting here. It says total power 40, total power needed 58, stable foundation. We were just at 34. What's the story here? I'm gonna have to learn this. I'm just gonna take a moment. Call me Ishmael because we have just flooded the plains. Science. Science, people. Let's observe the effects of water spilling out everywhere. I intentionally made this horribly inefficient just because I wanted to understand the way that the gears work, but apparently also, too, that makes it more inefficient unless we just go straight from an axle. So now we connected yet another windmill, and that somehow worked. But now we have created rushing water that is going to destroy the entire plane. And to me, this is extremely exciting, and I'm very happy about it. Ultimately, my goal from the very beginning has secretly been to not make a fortress, but to just create a giant water park. I wonder what happens when we flood this level, though, too. So many horrible ideas that come to mind. But yeah, no, this is... ooh, this is cool. So what we're also probably getting now. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So we forgot to pull this lever, but now I will. I can't remember which lever is which. Fortunately, I did label them before, so this is a lesson to be had. I linked these floodgates down below to each of these levers. It's remarkable to me how easily we were able to accomplish all of this. Color-coded levers are king. Ooh, color-coded levers is a good idea. Like if we made it out of different types of material. Man, can I just say how fortunate I am to have a chat that can just give me a brilliant idea like that? Wait a second, who was that? Color-coded levers. Wait, why can't I see that? Angiki, thank you very much for that tip. Like, I would never have thought of that if it were single player. I'm going to just ignore everything that I have been ignoring every single event, whether it's a dwarf's death, dwarf's dissatisfaction, running out of water. I mean, they'll just sort of like, they'll come back around. I'm just having so much fun, like, learning the game. Is everyone getting caught up in the flood? Well, good then, I suppose. Oh, how will they fish? Oh, well, I mean, this might just be the end of the fort. I don't know. There we go. So we've allowed more water in. So now this should be getting pumped from that square, I do believe. And I'm just wondering if the water pressure is going to be enough to fill up this cavern. Pretty much seems like it is. Is someone down there? Oh no, that's just mud. Oh, it's kind of cool how we can see it from the floor above, that it's slightly changing. So water is coming in and out of there. And now more water is gradually getting pumped out onto the floodplain again. So I did need to open up that floodgate again for this to work. But yeah, and we've got more sediment is pushing its way through. So hopefully all of this will get through here. And we could... Why have you fallen in? Sir, where did you come from? Oh, he came from up there. This is not authorized. And I see what he was trying to do, because I forgot to forbid these sediments. That was quite an unfortunate... It always happens like that. It always happens like that. But let's also forbid this, because... Can we forbid the... Not the floodgate, but I want to forbid the sediment. There we go. Okay, so some genius has made his way down. Where are you now, sir? Oh, he decided it would be a good idea to just walk through the water rather than around. Sir, I admire your stamina and courage. But you might not be, let's say, the most intelligent. I'm sorry, this is so cool. Just seeing this much movement in Dwarf Fortress is amazing. Yeah, there is a lot more sediment in there. We really can't do it. I mean, we could do something about the sediment, but I'm just not going to. As basically this is like a huge puddle. I know that it looks like there's a huge flood right now. Right now it is just a giant puddle. And it will probably continue to be that. And honestly, this might all just evaporate. I'm just going to leave this running as an experiment because it very well may evaporate before we get a giant level on this entire plane. But wouldn't it be interesting to just see what the outcome of that experiment would be? Personally, I mean, this is the whole reason I'm playing this right now, and I wanted to experiment with this, and that is quite fun. And if this just ends on that note, I would be satisfied with that. But I don't know. I mean, I get a lot out of seeing the movement in this game. I'm going to go ahead and say this. Graphics are overrated. Animations are overrated. And whenever I play a game that's like really well animated and really well produced, I often think that's cool, but there's not really that much going on underneath the hood, if you know what I mean. Like, there's no system underwriting this. Dwarf Fortress is basically the inverse of that. Like, it's the polar opposite. Or I don't know. Whatever, maybe I'm misusing that language here, but I like this game because although it's not visually detailed, and this is the only time we've really gotten some type of visual feedback, I mean, to me, it's full of information. It may not be, like, beautiful in the traditional, like, what is it, sense, but there is dense and beautiful information. It's kind of like watching a math problem or a fractal or something like that. And it's just so, like, it has that je ne sais quoi. It's more than the je ne sais quoi, you know? Yeah, like, actually, that's a good way to think of it as game development. Leaving enough to the imagination for the player to perform in his or her mind, you know? Like, this is art. This is why this game was in the MoMA, basically, right? I don't know. Like, we had a moment for monologues. Yeah, like an ant farm. That's good. I should try Cogmind. Cogmind is another one that's, actually, that's, I think, downloaded into my computer. I've been putting it off for so long, but so much beauty. Now I'm kind of curious about the evaporation thing, because I hadn't thought of that. Anyway, let's just kind of destroy this stockpile. Or we will leave it there so that they all kind of slip into the floodplain. But dang. I don't know if anything I can possibly do from this point on will eclipse this in how cool it is in this series. I'm sure that there are many cooler things to do with it, but I just wanted you to behold the spectacle of rushing water and awaken in you a desire for the sea. Yeah, doing it like with water and lava for, I don't know, maybe having them rush out on each other would be amazing. But yes, I hope that you have I hope I have awakened in you a desire for the sea. Let's continue with our fort because, oh my gosh, it's like let's just observe the infrastructure of everything that we've been neglecting for the last 5 hours. Someone took off their pants at the farm, and that just remains there as a mysterious artifact of what happened. This could be like the Dwight Schrute, a.k.a. The Office beet farm sort of situation we've got going on here, but I'm not entirely certain, so we'll just leave that. Our infrastructure has somehow managed to sustain 143 pop, which is probably not even all that impressive. We have our temple up there. Isn't this the temple? Yep, everybody's worshiping somebody, I guess, up there. We don't really know. Is the tavern still alive? Has anything gone horribly awry? No one's dead yet. Has anyone fallen in? I mean, they wouldn't have... They would have just been kind of like, help me, if they had fallen down there. Gradually filling up with water. No, I think we're pretty much there, though it is making its way to the arrow. All of my experiments. Just wake up every day and check on your experiments. Stock levels, food, drinks are stable. Get yourself a self-sufficient... Yeah, I think we got to that point, Harkins. Well, we wouldn't have gotten it there if it weren't for you. So thank you very much for all the help, Harkins. Most of the angry dwarves have kind of self-removed. When they get upset, they just kind of like stop drinking water and then they disappear mysteriously. I mean, in a word, beginner friendly. I'm sure there's a lot that we could have done better. The one thing I do kind of regret at this point, though, is that I haven't been able to see all of the incredible stories that are probably going on in the fort that are just things that are going on that I haven't really taken note of. Because when you talk to Dwarf Fortress players who really know what's going on there, we'll get there. But however, that being said, we've generated the systems that are, to me, interesting about the game. Okay, so we've got a waterfall going into our tavern that's gradually misting the dwarves, albeit with very low water pressure, which we would probably want to fix up. If I were to kind of continue this experiment, a very low pressure floodplain flooding experiment, which may or may not evaporate over time. That's quite cool. I like how it does show the movement from higher Z levels as well. That's nice to see. Maybe not with as much detail, but, you know, we don't need all the numbers everywhere we look. That could be kind of an information overload. Anyway, I'm trying to think of what else. We did minecarts. What else is there to be done? At this point in time, the other things that I had written down for myself were minecarts, irrigation. I guess we could really thoroughly irrigate something with buckets, but I think I know what I'm doing there. I'm just going to do something stupid. Whoops. Oh, that's interesting. Shift scroll does 10 levels at once. That was a total mistake that I learned that just now. Here's something stupid. I'm just going to start dumping water on the floor. Like over here. I want to do an experiment right here. So let's do excuse me, and let's just create a pit on level ground, and what is going to happen there? They should, in theory, start bringing buckets over to this spot. In theory, anyway. Unnamed pit or pond. Designate this zone as the top of a pond. Designate this zone as the top of a pit. We'll make it into a pond. But I'm not even going to dig the ditch there, because I want to see if we get the slight bit of mud here if we do that. I might be doing that wrong. That's the other real experiment that I had. They won't unless there's a hole for them to oh, so they won't bring it over there at all? So I suppose that is to say, if you wanted to just take a cavern floor and then make it into a muddy floor, because we were talking about irrigation before, like, say that I wanted to just do farming on this level. I was thinking I would do it that way. Could I instead... Would I start that from the floor above that? So if you're telling me that they won't actually do that, thank you very much. Tato Kulpen, thank you very much. Yes, check their tasks. Now we are intelligently using the labor. This is quite good. Okay, task. There are so many tasks. Collect webs. Sleep, drink, sleep, sleep, sleep. Catch live fish. Store item in bin. Weave thread. Fill pond. Activity zone number 40. So are they doing this? Well, let's go to this location. And it has been designated for you, sir. Oh, well, let's follow him along. See if he tries to fill up the pond. See what happens when he attempts that. I'm wondering if he will just... What I basically want him to do is just create a puddle that will then evaporate and create a dusting of mud. So is he going to go over to our No, he's going to go over to the water zone at the river that we created. Cool stuff is happening. What are your items now? Do you have that water with you? What are you doing? Wait, he has no job. It looks like he just left the bucket over there. Why did you leave the bucket over there? Tunnel tube bucket. Coated with water. It has 10 water in it. Wait, I don't know why he went to the river and then he just kind of gave up. It looked like he was doing that. Reservoir of water above it that is filled with buckets. Then let all those out at once. Otherwise it might evaporate before the... What are you doing, sir? You have no job. There are probably multiple ways to do it. I want to see if my stupid ways... From below? That would be better. Use a pump. Yeah, pump would probably be better. So, yeah, irrigate... I mean, the other thing that I'm getting the sense of... I'm starting to kind of see how mud, like, begins here. Even after all of this water movement... We've only just started to get some fungal growth in this cavern where it's happening. But it seems as though, like, if there is good water flow everywhere... Well, we have dusting of mud over here. This is considered a brook. But these areas were originally cavern floor, and now it says a dusting of mud. Do we have a slight dusting of mud in any of these other parts? A dusting of mud. A pile of mud. A small pile of mud. So we've got different designations for each of those. I don't really know what each one means, but it does seem as though we need a lot of water movement. I'm assuming that a dusting of mud is less than a small pile of mud. I think we just want... At least a small pile of mud is going to be enough for growing fungus. And probably also, too, there's going to be better floors for it. This is just so kaleidoscoping and amazing. Oh, my gosh. Hang on a second. Let's go back to that spot where I designated. So nobody seems to be pouring water in here, much as I was told by chat. I didn't know if they just start dumping it on the floor. What I would do if I wanted to just start irrigating it by bucket, which is, again, probably not the best way to do it, I would probably channel from the layer above. Dusting is still enough. So he decided to get a drink. Well, no drinking allowed. So if we were to do this, let's just say this. I want to see how this works. Because this was the last thing. I know we did the advanced machine stuff, but I wanted to try irrigation by hand. Okay, let's just create like a hole in the ceiling. So let's do right here. We're going to mine this part out, and then we're going to say like right there. We're going to need one more space. We're going to channel right in this spot, and we'll designate that as a pond. Then I assume I should just build a floodgate here. Just so that I can kind of contain the water that we would dump in by bucket. Because this would totally be another legit way to do this. And I want to see if it will work. BM and... Here we go. I'm just going to put the lever directly in front of it. Honestly, this is not a good idea in case if something goes horribly awry. I will put it over there. And we'll just label that. Okay, we'll do another lever there. And then let's do M and U to... channel this out, and then we will designate this spot as a zone for a pond. I accept the pond, and I make it into a pond, because it is, of course, a pond. We have sediment in there, and we won't do too much of this. I'm kind of curious as to how much they will fill this up. Like, will they fill this cavern up completely? Horribly awry. Maybe this also, too, will go horribly awry. Can we construct a grate there as well so that they don't fall in when they're... Well, first off, let's see if they do fall in when they're doing this, because my dwarves have so far not had such a great track record of being smart. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just kind of resisting the impulse to just do things. I'm slightly reading chat, like, don't do that, AA. That will go horribly wrong. And I'm like, will it? You know? And then trying to learn, and then we learn the smart way to do it, because it's better this way than, you know. Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing? Placing grates, they do not they do not support further constructions on like floors or walls. Thank you for that. Grate would clean the water. All right, maybe we'll just let our dwarves be stupid. Okay, we will now, what is it linked to? Okay, you can move to it. Let's pull the lever so that we close the floodgate. And aha, they have done it! Very exciting. I've been saying that a lot. Here we go. We have opened the... Have we pulled it yet, or are we ordering it to be opened? Okay, no, we have closed it. Let's make sure we can do it both ways. I mean, this is very simple. Okay, so yes, we can open and close it. All right, so yes, I would like it closed, so let's do it again. So pretty much what we're doing right here is this. If you didn't see when we did the zones before, we had another way of moving water around, which was to create a zone, which is called a pond or pitter pond. But this needs to be like a ditch in one level. So if you want to manually deliver water instead of the way we've been doing it with all these pumps and stuff like that, then you need to create the pitter pond. So we've been going up. Whoops. I'm going to go back down. I have just too many interesting areas now. So we created the pitter pond above it from a hole in the floor. And now people just gradually dump water into there. And I assume that they'll just fill up this entire room to 7-7. So, I mean, I put it in a ridiculous spot, but just because I wanted to see if this experiment would go right. Because I said, for example, if I wanted to farm down here. It now seems like the water is evaporating faster than we can really do this. So, it's probably not the best way to do this. But, I mean, technically, I guess fungus could grow here. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's horribly inefficient, and I'm now beginning to see why it's not that amazing an idea. It's interesting to see how quickly water evaporates when you go underground, though. Like, that was faster than expected. We'll just leave that there. I'm leaving a bunch of these kind of continuing experiments open just so that I can kind of look around the fort and go, oh, that's interesting. Like, after saves from a few hours, I'm currently just messing up my stockpiles. I'm curious what they'll do with that. Why are you? Playing make-believe in the pile of corpses. Okay, that's a bit creepy, honestly. That might be a sign of, like, some type of future behavior. I don't know why it shows her beneath the water. This might be... Oh my gosh. Who is this child? Who is this child? She didn't feel anything after seeing all of the dead bodies. Why are you not feeling this? She's 10 years old. That's like a pretty rational age. Competent fighter, adequate striker, squad. No, oh, wait a minute. Shameless, poor memory, values, sacrifice, disdains fairness, disdains martial prowess. Whoops. Poor memory. Oh my gosh, we have just found like the leader of some horrible new sect in our fort, probably. We should probably keep that girl on a watch. Oh, was it a girl? On a watch list. She was a psychopath. Okay, so is that the trait? Completely desensitized. So this is essentially her emerald. Although not only that, but she like kind of basks in the horror. That's I'm going to go ahead and say that that's a little bit, at the very least, it's a bit unusual, I would say. However, we're just going to leave it. I'm liking the fact that my fort now has a story, which one? It has a story. Okay, flood plain with all the bodies, and this is so interesting. No, I'm doing this intentionally. I could stop at any second if I want to. Say that we wanted to stop this. Is there a quick way to just stop all the... I assume we could just get a gear. Or like a lever or something like that. I don't know. I'm just going to leave that there as continued experiment number 1. I like it. Personally, I like it, although it's going to make matters a little bit more complex. Although technically, I mean, if we stop this right now, it's all just going to evaporate, and this really isn't that big a problem. I've essentially just created a big puddle. Because all these 1 tiles, that doesn't really bother the dwarves that much. It's just like walking through slightly damp water. I could stop whenever I want. Let's check on our pond experiment again. Okay, the pond is still creating more... I'm just going to zoom in here. The pond is still creating more dustings of mud. Small pile of mud, a dusting of mud. So this would be like kind of a way to do it. It doesn't really seem like we're getting a good mist flow around here, though. Oh, we have the song. Oh. Alright, let's go check on our... This is the other thing I wanted to see how the infinite map flow worked. Nope, it might even just be evaporating before we get there. So we need to figure out some way to get better water flows so that we can really cause some damage to ourselves. All right, sorry, I've just got to take a moment with Twitch chat right now. We have to have a Mongolian throat singing contest. So I'm just going to pause the VOD there for a moment. All right, everyone. Emoji only chat. Oh, 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 oh. There it comes. Ooh, we caught it. We just caught a Droutha. I'm very excited again. Okay, we have finally caught a Droutha after much, Oh, wait a second. Where did the Droutha... Wait, where have they taken the Droutha? I just missed that. Did it go up the stairs? I was looking away because I was so excited. It's getting hauled to the... Okay, we'll zoom in on the stockpile in a moment. But I do wish to explain this because we are getting back to that time of the VOD when I am... I probably just did a fade transition to this port. So, what I wanted to show you was this. We have basically been digging down to our doom, and we were trying to catch some of these Drauthas down here because we were thinking, like, what is the last few things... I mean, there's clearly a lot of stuff I still don't know about Dwarf Fortress, but I'm trying to get all the basic systems down. So anyway, we wanted to capture animals. So we went into the building menu. And we built cage traps. We built the cage trap, and that basically gives you one of these. We've been trying to, like, smackledorf the hallways down here because there seem to be some good opportunities because Drauthas just keep making their way up and down the stairs. So we found these bottlenecks here. We can't really bait them, it seems, but we've got this construction happening, and then we create a trap. We still need to arm the trap. So these traps are armed, which you can tell by the slightly, like, brown dots around them, whereas these ones are black, so they're empty. Okay, so we've got armed traps up here, and we've got some down here. Well, this one's to be built. But what was I going to say? Cages. So there is also a cage construction, and this was confusing to me because this cage is apparently where we just store the animals or whatever we have stored in them. But instead, we need to go into the labor menu, and then we just search cage. Of course, there's no Nick Cage. Unfortunately, they don't have... I get it, it's a funny joke. Or, of course, oh my god, it actually exists. There's Nickel Cage. Nick Cage is in Dwarf Fortress. I can finally pass from this earth in peace. Nick Cage is in Dwarf Fortress. All right, we might as well make one because it exists, and that's amazing. Do we have... No, we don't have anything named David. Okay, but that is quite amazing. Anyway, I did make them out of wood. I'm just gonna... That was probably the greatest joke of all time. But yeah, we made a bunch of wooden cages, and then the dwarves automatically bring those down to the traps. Weight is a factor. Thank you, Chili Dog Dave. Quality of the mechanism, so heavier or stronger. Okay, so we will probably get more into, like, the trap quality. It doesn't seem that they always activate these things, but now we've got all of these cages ready, and the Drauthas just keep kind of running around, and, you know, I wanted to capture one and bring it home, so... F3, here we are. F4, whoops, I keep going down to more interesting stuff. So we've got this cage with the Droutha in it. Those are grates over there. This should probably be going into the all stockpile. Now I assume we just need to go find the Droutha in here that we captured in a cage. These are all, as it turns out, wild Drauthas that are just running through our home. There it is. Droutha child. I don't really know how to take care of this, so right now I'm just sort of in the business of randomly capturing a bunch of wild Drouthes. To be completely fair, we should probably just put a bunch of cage traps up here to capture all of these wild Drouthes because they've pretty much made this their home. Look at how many Drouthes there are just running around our home. We don't own any of them, except perhaps one. Is that technically in our pets and livestock, or is that a store? Is that a stockpile? I don't see a Drouthe here. I don't see a Drouthe here. I don't see a Drouthe here. Unless if I missed it. Was it in there? Let's go ahead and check our stocks really quick. Animal traps. It doesn't show animals, though. Animals in cages don't need to eat or drink. Wait, really? That's quite crazy. It's in others until you tame them. Oh, hang on a second. Let me just go back and double check. Others until they... Oh, so it is still in others. That makes sense to me, I think. Like, it's just kind of accounted for with the other wild Drouthes. Anyway, I mean, in that case... Ooh, look, we've got knot grass growing inside of our cave. Wait, is this even where we have... I was wondering if this needed sunlight. Can we just appreciate... And I apologize for being so scatterbrained in these videos, but I just keep discovering new things, and this is exactly how I wanted this series to go, was just full of scatterbrainedness and discovery. This is the best way to learn. Anyway, this is quite cool. Wait, they're wrong? They need to eat grass? Can still starve in a cage? Okay, yeah, sorry. I genuinely have no idea. So I genuinely have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so don't not feed your animals. I don't even know what to do. But yes, so far I haven't pressed Alt F4, so I think we're good. We do have more pipe sections here. I don't really know, but I mean, to be completely honest with you, I don't really care about the Drouthes. I mean, I think it's interesting, but I just kind of want to trap them all because I don't really see why they're running around, and that seems like it might cause some issues. Imagine having a bunch of wild animals roam around your house, although it could probably be sold for profit. Maybe to some trader. Yeah, value 1,000. I mean, capturing all of these Drouthes. I will probably go on a massive Drouthe capturing spree in the next video because... Well, let's just arm up a few of this. Maybe we could get all of the Drouthes for right now. So I'll just go through with this because it's very interesting. Not animal traps. Well, yeah, we don't really want things coming up from the caves, do we? Let's go back to our stockpile because they really like our stockpile. They probably have been eating all of our food. Individuals with the animal caretaker job will feed caged animals. Varying degrees. Thank you very much, Hornar. Caging and slaughtering them for... I mean, we could eat them. Like it. I don't know, is that like eating a praying mantis or something like that? Isn't it against the law to do that or something like that? Or at least I've heard it is in the US, but I'm not sure if that's a myth. Like praying mantises or something like that. What is it? They're so peaceful. Like, don't do anything to them. They're such nice people, you know? Because apparently people were going around and just taking out praying mantises. They're holy. I don't know. Why does this bug? Because it holds its hands a certain way. I mean, I know they're not its hands. What do you call them? It's funnier to call them its hands. Its hands. Sure, its hands. Claws. I don't know. What is the right word? Grabbies. Mandibles. No, it's whatever it is. Okay, we are just on a Drouthe capturing spree. Anyway, Drouthes, praying mantises aside. Praying mantes? Is it the Latin plural? Whatever it is. I have no words left. This game is amazing. I guess we will just be in the business of that. We're capturing a lot of them. We could pretty much have a whole Drouthe like entertainment show if we wanted to. A Drouthe exhibition, if you will. I'm feeling like I'm getting Dwarf Fortress a lot more. I know there's massive gaps in my knowledge, but ooh, look at this. So it really didn't even flood the whole plane. It just sort of created this giant muddy puddle. This looks awful, but it's interesting that we were able to create it. I don't know about you, but I'm having a great time experimenting with this game, and this is my favorite way to do it. I guess let's just summarize everything. I've just been enjoying summarizing everything at the end for anyone who like wants to just kind of look at what's happened in the video. Or got something out of some part of it. What did we start with? we had done all of the things that I had summarized at the beginning of the video. Well blocks, we had done a little bit of wall work, we had figured out about suspended construction, work orders, stuff like that. We had figured out a little bit about the gravestones, although I didn't really show much of that, so I apologize for that. We created a pond in the grave. We went over recording macros when we created these things. A couple of things that we added to our stockpiles, like toys for children and so on and so forth. I didn't really do anything with this well, but it is there. I guess I could have shown that, but maybe at a later date. Smoothing boulders, we did that. Suspended wall construction, did that. Okay, and then we went into the massive task of understanding the way that we are just saving again for a second. Sorry about that. It does seem like it takes a little bit of a longer time as there's more information in the fort. Is that just me noticing that? We did a minecart thing. This really isn't useful, but Blind had been here for that, so again, thanks to him for helping with this, which was amazing because I was just watching his tutorial on it the other day, which he has a lot of those, so you should go check them out. But yeah, we just kind of created a dwarf water slide here. Could have made that a little bit more interesting, but I really don't. I just wanted to do the basics. Then we went underneath, or we went under, well, we did go underneath, and we did the massive task of creating this artificial waterfall down below, which, where is it? I can't even, I think it was under F5, or is it F6? F7? No, I'm losing track of which hotkey is which now. This fort is horribly disorganized, but just, you know, bear with me. We're trying to mist people in our tavern, which is, oh, there is the mist now. But we should probably figure out water pressure. It's interesting to see what happens when we totally let go of the water. We do get fungal growth down here. It doesn't really seem to spread across, but curious as to how this spreading is occurring. We've also we did that whole convoluted water pump thing, which was regrettably complex, but I just wanted to show how it worked if you wanted to do it all. We kind of messed up our fort, but we learned a lot, and then we did the floodplain thing, which, ooh, that's kind of pretty on the minimap. I think that's most of it. After that, we did the powering with the windmills. We have basically just messed up that entire plane. And then we did a brief interlude where we trapped some Drauthas. And we figured out that that song seems to be in the key of D, the Tavern song, which is a great discovery. And then we did that, and then we captured more Drauthas. And it does seem, now I also started digging down, like, regrettably deep here. And we're probably going to hit something horrible that will just take us out. But I just wanted to see what there was at the deepest caverns, because I clearly don't know what I'm doing, and there seems to be more stuff down here. I mean, what is that? Is that a spider? Yeah, we've got some spider cave web silk. Oh my gosh. This game is amazing, and yeah, like, I'm even more impressed and just awed by Dwarf Fortress than I originally was in the first place, which is kind of saying a lot, so... anyway, cool stuff to come. I feel like that's kind of a good spiritual stopping point, though, because we've done quite a lot in one video, and I don't want to overload these, so that's it. Anyway, I hope you've been enjoying just muddling along with me through this, and I don't know, I think we won't go so far, but I want to get to the point where I feel like I can intelligently create a fort. After this, I might just do a lot of more muddling through, like, just stuff that involves actually taking care of our fort, because I wanted to have a brief interlude of, like, doing the fun stuff. We could do magma, we could do something fun with the minecarts, but I feel like I've got enough with the systems, and we did... I felt like that was kind of fun today. The next one might not be as fun, but, like, might be more useful. Yeah, I don't know. We might just go back to learning and me taking tips from chat. But I don't see this going beyond maybe probably 4 or 5 videos max on this series, most probably. Unless if I do. I don't know. Just look at the playlist if you're in the future and watching this on YouTube. It's probably over in 2 or 3 videos from now, but that's because, you know, I would like to eventually start a fort that's actually good. And also, we haven't been raided, so I may have turned down the natural savagery, like, way too much, because we simply haven't dealt with any enemies. I thought there would be more raids by now. I just, you know, I don't really know what I'm doing with calibrating settings. Oh my gosh, look, the leaves are falling. This is crazy. Okay, so, I guess without any further ado, that's pretty much a summary of everything we did. That's kind of where the YouTube VOD would end. Let me just mark that for a second. We did the throat singing, and now we chatted